Third reactor, roll off.
What's going on, Reactor Rights? Welcome back for another review of The Flash. I'm Mike, joined with
John.
And we just finished watching episode 10 of season 2 titled Potential Energy. Possibly the worst episode title of the series. It has literally nothing really to do with the episode.
It could be Potential Energy for Turtle, the newest villain introduced.
I guess so, yeah.
There's the potential. Maybe.
Well, you figured it out. John figured it out. I didn't, apparently. But yeah, it was a good overall episode. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff between Barry and Patty. A lot of stuff with Wally and Joe. Like, just this episode was chock full of like emotions.
Yeah, there were emotions there. Some of it. What is it? Yeah. Barry and Patty Spivot. You know, their relationship is kind of on the rocks in this episode because Barry, the one thing he wants to tell her he can't, like his true identity, he's the Flash. And
he's told enough people already.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't tell any more people, Barry. It's
Yeah.
like, what's her name knows? The girl, the whatever, the newspaper that works with Iris knows, remember?
Yeah.
It's like,
So, but here's the thing, like, you know, relationships, they come and go. So, do you really want to tell every single significant other that you are the Flash? So, like, let's say you date around a lot. So, let's say he dates around like 100 chicks. So, he's going to tell 100 chicks that he's the Flash. It's like, no, you stop.
yeah.
Stop.
And I think this was a good, arc for Barry because I think every superhero goes through that though, right? Because, you know, it's supposed to be a big thing, revealing your secret identity.
Yeah, you know who's good at keeping secrets? Spider-Man. Like, you know, Aunt May, I think she still doesn't know that he's Peter Parker. So
Yeah.
why do you have to tell? Just keep it a secret.
Yeah.
And Aunt May seems fine.
Yeah, and it's like, it's funny because I remember reading the comics as a kid, and it's like once Mary Jane found out, then it just made things even more complicated. You know? It's like it's just a double-edged sword. I mean, obviously they want to know because it's a big secret. It's something they're holding back, so they're not fully, you know, being open with each other. So
Yeah.
I can understand that, but in this episode, it's a big part.
You know who doesn't have a problem? Batman. He's never really close to anyone, so he doesn't have to worry about these type of problems, like regular, everyday problems.
Yeah.
But here, their relationship's on the rocks. And the one that, to push them further into, like, either breaking apart or going closer together is the newest, the villain of the week, Turtle, played by Aaron Rodgers, I think that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know who he is, he was in shows like Battlestar Galactica, and he was pretty skinny in there, and now he's just gotten a little bit bigger, a little bit chunkier.
Yeah, and he was, at first I thought, when they first introduced him, I thought he was going to be Wally, because it seemed like Wally was going to be a big part of the story, and, you know, this still hasn't been confirmed whether or not he's going to be a speedster, like, maybe later on in the show, because he, who he is in the comics, so I figured, like, because they had that scene with Joe, and they're like, he's at the precinct, and he says, like, oh, hey, how come you're not in handcuffs? And it's like, oh, I don't know that guy. I just have one of those faces.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, oh, okay, so something's going on with him. He has some sort of past, and it was just like, we went from that to seeing Turtle, so that's why I made the connection, but he's not. He didn't have the powers. But.
So, yeah, pretty much Turtle's a newly introduced character on the show. He has the power to slow everybody down, or even slow things down. Even Barry, the fastest man alive, and he slows him down. So, would you say Turtle would be the fastest person alive? Or he could be the potential energy of being the fastest person alive?
He has under the right circumstances, yes, he could be faster than the Flash. And that, you know, it was interesting. I liked the way they used his powers. I don't really know the DC villain, so I don't know how accurate they put him to the comics, but it was cool.
I thought he was based on the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, even Cisco made a couple of good jokes in there. Also, you know, God, if you guys listen to our podcast before and you guys are jumping over the YouTube, one of the things we consistently talk about is how they build characters, and like how that's the reason why we like the show a lot. I love what they do with Cisco, because Cisco really doesn't have that much in this show, in this episode, but when he has his parts, it's really good. Like, it's just certain things as it says, and it's like him and Harrison Wells also have like a whole thing going on, and it's like even now after we saw with the mid-season finale of, you know, Harrison Wells getting threatened by Zoom, there's, you know, obviously they're not on the same page anymore, and it seemed like Harrison Wells at one point was going to like be fully integrated in the group, and now he's like taking a step back.
Yeah, he's taking a step back because of Zoom having his daughter. But then Harrison Wells still kind of cares about Flash because Flash was on the verge of telling, Patty, like, his true identity. And Harrison was like, don't do it. Like, if Zoom finds out, he will destroy every single person that's close to you.
Mm-hmm.
But does it really matter? Because he's close to Cisco, he's close to Caitlin, and they're still there. They're still alive and kicking. And their job is to stop Zoom.
Yeah.
So if I was Zoom, I would go into their area, just snap Caitlin's neck, snap Cisco's neck, just snap everybody's neck. That's it.
But yeah, so yeah, but he wants his powers. He wants the Flash's powers, and
he
he
wants to fan him up like a turkey and then eat him. Gobble!
Okay. But yeah, like, that's the whatever. Now Harrison's kind of in a tough spot, and like we kind of get that sense that I think he is going to become a bad guy, which is funny because remember when he first arrived, everybody hated him, and he was like, "Hey, I'm not such a bad guy. Like, why does everybody hate me?"
Yeah, but that his monologue at the end is like, "I will do whatever it takes to get my daughter." So he's willing to just any cruel act you can think of, he'll probably do it just to save his daughter. But I guess a lot of parents would do a lot of bad things to help their daughters or sons.
Yeah.
Right? No?
Yeah, and especially like he knows what Zoom has done, and they had a good scene with him and Cisco where he's explaining like how he got the name Zoom, and obviously Cisco's still giving him a hard time, and he like explains it like this horrifying story of like why Zoom has his name. And even Cisco kind of like has like this like, oh, okay, sorry for being a dick kind of moment. And he could have he even says like if you want I could vibe anytime just so that way he knows his daughter's alive, and he says my daughter is alive, so it's like
I don't need your help.
Yeah, and it's like he's distancing himself from the group again. It's like it's gonna get interesting because I mean, God, like so many things happen in this episode, and yet they're all like weaved in together. Like everybody's got their own little parts. Like obviously Joe and Wally's thing is kind of separate. I felt like that should have been in the last episode.
Maybe.
like they just kind of introduced Wally, and then like they just.
Well, I think they want to do that because it's like a mid-season finale, so it's like shocking. Like, hey, I'm here. He's like, oh, he's here. Let's have some Christmas dinner.
Yeah, and it's like they really didn't give enough time. It's like he just showed up. They brought him in, and then like now we're an episode later, and then all of a sudden like all these emotions start coming up. But I guess that's what happens when
Yeah, right now I'm not really digging Wally West as a character, but maybe he'll grow on me in future episodes, but we'll see.
But yeah, so ending of this show, I mean, it's gonna be some bittersweet for these. What'd you call them?
Hashtag
Piv West
Hattery.
Yeah, Piv West shipping. Yeah, it's over, and I figured it was gonna be a breaking point. I either figured she was gonna die, he was gonna tell her she was gonna die, and it wasn't gonna matter anyways. Or
do you think this is the end?
I think it is. Like the way that she said, like she's gonna go to another city. So I mean, maybe not forever. Like it could always bring her back. Like it could, a couple seasons later. But I think this is the end for Patty's.
I don't know. It just feels weird to leave her off like that on that kind of note. Like there should be more to it. Like at least him revealing his identity or something really bad happening. But it's just like, well, you're not gonna tell me who you are or you're a secret. See ya.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like it was a good choice. I think because that's what I was expecting. I figured she was either gonna die or she was just gonna figure it out or find out from him. And I think this is better because it's like real life. People just kind of just go opposite ways, and she obviously wasn't getting what she needed from Barry, which was the truth because he was always holding back. And it's like just two ships parting in the sea.
The ships were going at the same direction, but one decided to reverse. Yeah.
Just had to kill that moment, didn't you? But anyways, so yeah, it's over. It's kind of sad. Like I really enjoyed her character.
I did too. Patty, she's sweet and she's very charming, and she's a kick-ass detective.
Yeah, like if you remember Cisco, she's like that girl that put like 12 rounds in the king shark.
Yeah. Yeah, she's able to like figure out like other clues. Like it took to the Flash and his whole team to find out this one villain, and she was already there at the scene of the crime. So she was pretty cool. I like her.
Yeah, it's sad. I don't know if she's in the next episode. She could be. This could have been just her last episode, which is sad. But that's going to be the end of that. Also, you know, as we ended off with the end of the show, the last scene we see, the return of Eobard Thawne. Reverse Flash is back. Is he a bad guy?
No, it feels different because it looks like he's traveling back in time. And he has no idea where he's at, but his tone of voice, like, where am I? You know? Instead of, like, where am I? But it's just, what's going on? He sounds friendly.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, get in. Where are we? And it was just like a completely different vibe from what you got from season 1, so. But
so you think he's Reverse Flash number 2? Or maybe something happened with the timeline in season 1 where it just changes everything?
I don't know.
We'll find out in the next episode. Maybe. Or the rest of the season.
So let us know what you guys thought about the episode. Put your comments below. If you like the show, if you don't like the show, you know, just let us know what your thoughts are. We'll be doing more, obviously, episode reviews. We got Agent Carter, we've got Arrow, and then we probably got Star Wars Rebels, and then maybe even X-Files.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So many shows.
But we do it for you.
So hit that subscribe button, like this video, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.